Hi, this is Nadine Hill, Business Mum on Twitter, and I'm interviewing today a lovely young lady called Veena V, who has a fantastic business called Millionaire. And as you know, I love interesting businesses, so I'm going to talk to Veena about exactly what she does. So, hi, Veena.
Hey, hi. Can I just say thank you so much for inviting me on your blog, on your YouTube channel. And Nadine, this is the first ever Google Hangout I've ever done. So I will never forget this one, ever.
You never forget your first. That's so true. Excellent. So, Veena, let's get right into it. You've got a website called mumpreneurs.com. Why don't you tell me a bit about what it actually is?
Yeah, so Mum to Millionaire provides inspiration and social media training for the busy business mum out there. And it's basically to help business mums and working mums unite. Because I don't know if you feel the same as me, but I feel there's a lot of people in this world that don't support each other. Everyone's kind of off doing their own thing. And I just wanted to create a business where everyone can help each other, collaborate. And Mum to Millionaire was just kind of born out of frustration. I think every mum knows this. When your child is in childcare 5 days a week, you're barely seeing your child. And I just thought, do you know what, there must be another way to this. Like, there must be another life. So that is how Mum to Millionaire was created. And as you know, Nadine is coming very soon on the podcast. So I interview business mums every single week. I've got the blog, I've got the YouTube channel, and I create online courses as well.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like you're very busy, like we all are, working from home around our children. So you said it was born of frustration. So I take it you're a mum yourself. Why don't you tell us a bit about how you work and what children you have?
Kind of the brief story going right back to when I started working. I started in the media industry when I was 16, so I was still a little baby. I was a radio presenter. I did a bit of TV. And then at the age of 21, I unexpectedly became pregnant. Don't you love when people say the word unexpectedly? It wasn't planned. It was completely like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I gave birth to my son. And then I was a single mum straight away. So kind of being a single mum and working in the media industry didn't really gel that nicely together. It was just really difficult. I was just struggling to make any kind of money. And if anyone knows, kind of when you work in the media, because I had been off work for about 9 months, to get back in, it's quite difficult. It's a very cutthroat industry. It just moves along so much. It's like the world of YouTube. If you don't upload a video for 9 months, you're like, no one knows who you are. So yeah, it was just really difficult, and I had to go and get a receptionist job. So I was working as a receptionist, still trying to get back in the media industry, and that's when this real frustration began, because I wasn't making any money from my radio work. I wasn't making a great amount of money from reception work. My child was in childcare 5 days a week, or my money was going on transport, and that is when Mum to Millionaire was born, because I thought, I don't want to struggle anymore. Like, I don't want to just keep chasing jobs or chasing this and that. I'm going to create my own business, create my own kind of media platform, and just do it myself, which is, as you know, is another challenge in itself, which is a completely different story. But that initial idea for Mum to Millionaire is just born out of that frustration of being a mum who wants to spend time with their child, but like, how are you going to do it?
Excellent. Oh, well, that's great to know a bit about your backstory. So what I'm interested in, Veena, because you mentioned that you sell courses and workshops, so obviously that's an obvious way that you can make money. Does your website make money in any other ways for you?
So right now, I just started Mum to Millionaire what are we in now? July. So a few months ago, February the 1st, I launched it. So it's still, 6 months old now. So the money hasn't obviously been rolling in, which I haven't expected. But yeah, so the main way, you're correct, is my online courses. So I sell YouTube courses, actually. So anyone who wants to get started on YouTube, they literally don't have a clue about SEO, filming, lighting. I've made a whole course on that. But the other ways in the future, I'm not making money from it right now, but it'll be sponsorship from the podcast, because my podcast is on iTunes and it's on the blog. And also obviously advertisements on the website. So Nadine, as you know, you've got your own blog, so it's kind of monetizing your web presence, but you know, YouTube as well. There's so many different ways, but it's building that audience, and it's a lot to do with marketing. So I've kind of got everything in place, but now it's just telling as many people as possible, like, hey, like Mum to Millionaires over here, come and check it out.
Excellent. And I'm glad you mentioned that you do a YouTube course. I mean, it being in, I do lots of YouTube videos myself, and I know lots of people who want to do YouTube videos, but are kind of put off because they're not really sure about what they would say or how to present themselves, or even the technical aspects regarding lighting and equipment and sound and things like that. There's quite a lot more to go into it than people initially think, isn't there? So so these courses that you do, are they in-person courses or are they virtual courses? How would people access them?
Yeah, they're online courses. So I've got my online Instagram course for beginners and my online YouTube course for beginners. But I've created like a private Facebook group, so when people take the course, that I'm kind of accessible whenever. So you can kind of drop me a comment on the Facebook group, you can email me, and I'm very responsive. But again, in the future, I want to start consulting people as well, because I just feel so passionate. Like you said, there's so many mums out there that want to get on YouTube, but that's like, they don't know how to start. And I'm that kind of person that says to them, you can do it. If you want to be on YouTube, you can do it. And like, you're doing it yourself, Nadine. Like, you probably had the idea of like, hold on, I want to make YouTube videos, and you've learned yourself, you've built up your confidence, and now you're doing it. Absolutely. And you're doing a great job, by the way.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. So in terms of people being able to access your courses via, you know, virtually, and so you're now building up a presence, and you're building up a database of podcasts of busy, you know, mums who are business mums who have started up businesses. So tell me, how do you select the people that you interview, and what kinds of business mums have you interviewed on the channel? So what kind of variety do you have there?
We have had any single business mum you can think of, we've had them. So I've had an accountant on the show, I've had bloggers, I've had the founder of Tots 100, I'm sure a lot of your audience know who that is. I've had the CEO of a recruitment company. I had a brilliant lady who has built a national dance school from scratch. It's not franchised, she's got like hundreds of classes and dance studios up and down the country. We have just, any single business you can think of, we've had on the show already. And I think we are nearly up to episode 30. So I've had 30 different people. And yeah, it's just going really strong. And my kind of criteria is, a lot of people come to me and want to get featured, but I kind of go out there looking for business mums who I just think are doing so well. And for me, do you know what, it's so horrible the way the world has turned out. Because in 2015, everything's about numbers. So a lot of people are like, how many Twitter followers you've got, how many Facebook followers? I actually don't care. So if I go on someone's Twitter and they've only got 100 followers, that does not bother me at all. I'm looking for their story, and if they've got any valuable advice to actually share with the community, because it's all about us learning from each other. I always say to everyone, what's the point of one person being successful when we can all succeed together? So that's kind of my motto, and that's what I stand for, really.
Well, that sounds good, and I definitely agree with you. I think collaboration is the way forward. I think we're all in more of a sharing society than we were in terms of we're sharing our status updates and things like that. We're all a lot more social than we used to be a few years ago. So moving forward, collaboration does seem the best way to go. And like you say, you know, a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle, does it? So it's quite nice to be able to support other business mums and to help each other grow. Which is, it's fabulous what you're doing, Veena. So if somebody wants to access your podcast, tell me, how would they go about it? So they've watched this video and they think, oh, I like the idea of Mum to Millionaire. What's it all about? How can they find you?
It's very easy. You just go on Google and type in Mum to Millionaire. We'll pop up on the blog, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube as well. And in terms of, if you want to listen on your phone, I think a lot of people in the UK, they're still like, how do I listen to a podcast? All you have to do, if you've got an iPhone, you will very likely already have the podcast app on your phone. All you do is go in the search bar, type in Mum to Millionaire, and I'll come up. You subscribe, and you will get weekly shows delivered straight to your phone. So if you're walking to school, you can listen to the podcast, feel inspired by other business mums. You can listen I listen to a lot of podcasts when I'm washing the dishes. So I made the dinner, I stick on a podcast and I listen. So podcasting is just so amazing. It's so accessible and you can just listen wherever it is. But you can also listen on the blog if you're a bit kind of, oh, I don't know how to do that on my phone. You can listen on mumpreneurs.com as well. So lots of different options.
Excellent. Well, I think that I'll have to go on to iTunes and subscribe. Then I didn't realize it was so simple that you just subscribe and then it gets delivered automatically to your phone. I didn't actually know that. So I don't listen to many podcasts. But
listening, Nadine.
I've been missing out. So that's awesome, Veena. Thank you. It's lovely to interview a mum with an interesting business. I love the sound of your business. Obviously, I love being interviewed by you recently for your podcast. I think I'm episode 29, aren't I?
Wow. So in about a month's time, everyone can hear your brilliant advice. And yeah, actually, I want to promote that. Nadine gives some great productivity tips. So if you are a busy mum and you're like, I don't know how to organise my life, Nadine is coming up on episode 29. So we'll put all the links to that later on as well.
Absolutely. Veena, thank you ever so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
And thank you so much for having me on your YouTube channel.
You're very welcome. Take care. Bye.